Lamar Jackson was the final pick of the first round last night, going to Baltimore with the 32nd pick. Ravens traded up for Jackson, and afterwards he said, quote, "They're going to get a Super Bowl out of me. Believe that." Ravens coach John Harbaugh emphasized that Joe Flacco is still the starter, and they signed RG3 a few weeks ago. And is Lamar Jackson a good fit in Baltimore?
He's a great fit. I thought he would go to Baltimore at 16. Remember, Skip, I said he'd go somewhere between 13 and 20. And I thought 15, 16, the Cardinals at 15, Baltimore at 16 would be ideal landing spot.
Okay.
I think when Baltimore traded down and they selected, they didn't really think they had another opportunity to get Lamar Jackson because they knew he wouldn't be there in the second round. So for them to get back into the bottom of the first round, the 32nd pick, the last pick in the first round, and get Lamar Jackson, I thought that was very good. Obviously, this is Ozzie Newsome, my former boss. This is his last first-round draft pick he's ever going to select for the Baltimore Ravens. And people looking at, well, why would they select Lamar Jackson when he's such a variance from what they have in Joe Flacco? Joe Flacco is garden variety, prototypical, a drop back, a 6'6", drop back, stand there and throw the football down the field. Lamar Jackson is more athletic, more mobile, can do things with his legs, but he has a better arm than I think than people give him credit for. But Greg Roman, who I think is the offensive coordinator, he's the quarterback's coach. He coached Colin Kaepernick. Colin Kaepernick went to a Super Bowl. Marty Morningwig coached Mike Vick.
He did.
James Urban also with Vick and Donovan McNabb. So you see where they're going, Skip. And after this year, they can get out from under the avalanche, which is the contract of Joe Flacco. Skip, he's still owed a lot. If they pick that contract up after this year, that's a lot of money. Even if they release it, they save $10 million, but they still $16 million that they can divide up over 2 years. So you can kind of see where they possibly might be headed. John Harbaugh made it abundantly clear he didn't want to get Joe Flacco all up in arms. You still our guy this year. I can't make no promises in 2019. But I like it. I like the fact that he went there and he gets an opportunity. He's not going to have to come in and play right away. I don't really think any of these guys are ready to step in from day one and go play, but he'll get an opportunity to sit back, get his feet, work on his throwing motion mechanics, and be a better player.
I am with you on this. I didn't just like this. I loved it because I have never loved the quarterback, the incumbent starter in Baltimore, who I've many times called Joe Fluco because he is a fluke of a quarterback, but I cannot argue with what Joe Flacco has done in the postseason. It's extraordinary. You go look at the numbers.
It's two different players.
It's like, what are you doing? What got into you now when the money's on the table? You made that throw and the Hail Flacco throw that beat Peyton in Denver.
Skip, we just saw a guy, Nick Foles. But it's hard for me to believe that Nick Foles' run was any better than Joe Flacco when he beat Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, and Andrew Luck in one fell swoop.
But during the regular season, he is more Fluco. He is somewhere between ordinary and often pathetic. And in QBR, my favorite stat, he'll often have 2 or 3 during the year, which will be at the very bottom of the league.
Sub-10s.
Sub-10s. Sub-1s. He'll have point somethings. And in 2013, he became the highest paid player in all of pro football, and I just laughed out loud at that. I just could not believe it, and I said, they will pay for this, the Ravens, because it's just too much money to give to that guy for what he can do during regular seasons. And I think now they're trying to dig out from under it. So good for them. And what made me happiest about this was we talked about all the reports, which did turn out to be smokescreens, about Lamar Jackson going to Bill Belichick. And I'll tell you this, I feel so much better about Lamar Jackson's future in Baltimore than I did in Boston, for reasons we've spoken of. And I feel so much better about Lamar Jackson following Joe Fluco than trying to follow Tom Brady, because that would be just, I don't care who you are, where you're from, that's hard, man. Somebody's going to have a hard job.
I don't want that job.
Yeah, right?
I don't want no.
I don't think anybody wants that job.
I don't want that one.
So I was happy for Ozzie. I was happy for Lamar. Lamar paid a painful price last night. I felt so bad for him because they just showing him he's sitting.
But you know what, Skip?
But it turned out he was paid back for what he had to pay.
Stop looking at these projections. They're not guaranteed. I mean, guys are getting. Dude, you still went in the first round, and at the end of the day, It doesn't matter if you go #1 overall or whatever, 253 overall. You still got to produce. These guys get so caught up in.
And he still got to the Ravens.
Yeah.
And he was happy about it afterwards. That's all he kept saying. I don't care what happened. I'm a Raven.
You got.
Yeah.
See, Skip, guys get so caught up in the how high they go as opposed to where they go.
Yep.
And see, me, Skip, I would have loved to be in a higher pick, but I went in the 7th round. I think there were 28, 29 teams, but only 3 had the H-back position. Now, what if I had gone to one of those teams that didn't have that position, and that was going to give me an opportunity?
Trouble.
Exactly.
Yep.
So I'm getting caught up, man. Man, I should have been a 3rd round pick. I should have been a 2nd round pick. Okay, I'm 7th.
It doesn't matter. You're in the Hall of Fame. You're okay.
Because guess what, Skip? I don't care where you go. When they give you that helmet and them shoulder pads, you're going to have to produce. So there ain't nobody going to be caring about, oh, he's a 1st round pick, so we got to keep him 4 or 5 years. Nah, not with the money now, Skip. You get 2 to 3 years, and if you ain't paying it out, you got to go.
Yep. So I did love what Lamar also said. The Ravens are going to get a Super Bowl out of me. And I know that's big, bold talk, but I think he really, I think it stung him a little bit that he had to sit there all night. And he was like, believe that, like, yes, I do. I believe in his heart of hearts. That's what he's shooting for.
Well, we saw it, Skip, Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers was projected he could easily be #1.
Oh, easily.
And now he's sliding down. He's Brady Quinn, the commissioner, had to come out there and get him and take him back to the commissioner's room. So we've seen these types of slides before, but Skip, when you have a unique talent, you need to have a unique offensive mind and a unique game plan that's slated for him.
Okay.
Too many times the game plan is for a drop-back quarterback. Well, everybody's not going to have a Tom Brady. Everybody's not going to have a Aaron Rodgers or Drew Brees. So when you have one of these guys like a Deshaun Watson, Bill O'Brien, you see the way he called plays for Deshaun as opposed to Tom Brady. That's what you have to do.
Okay. And listen, Lamar has rare breakaway speed. It's rare, man, and elusivity. But he also has a lightning release where he just flicks it, and he flicks the ball with underrated velocity. Man, it gets there fast.
Do you think he's more athletic than Deshaun Watson? Now, I think Deshaun is a better thrower of the ball than he is right now, but would you say he's slightly a little bit? He reminds me more of Mike Vick than Deshaun Watson did.
Yeah, definitely. No, definitely. He is more athletic than Deshaun.
Yeah.
Deshaun can move around. But this kid is electrifying. But he can throw it, and he threw it for a very demanding coach, Bobby Petrino, in a very complex system that's a pro-style system. So don't tell me he doesn't have a head start on this. It's going to take a while. Maybe it's just the 1 year for Flacco. I don't know.
And the thing is, but people look at somebody threw for those 30-plus touchdowns in back-to-back years.
They did.
Somebody had over 3,500 passing yards in back-to-back years. He's 2-time ACC Player of the Year. He won the Heisman Trophy. I mean, does that mean it? And you want the guy without even giving him an opportunity to play quarterback? People were recommending that the man switch positions after winning the Heisman, 2-time ACC Player of the Year, and as a quarterback.
I agree.
Nah, bro, we ain't got nothing for you here.
So, bottom line on this, I love Ozzie. You love Ozzie.
I
have
do.
Nothing but respect. This is his swan song. But just to be fair about this, I wanted Ozzie to take him, as you pointed out, at 16. Because if you are head over heels, you just dig in at 16 and say, I'm taking that kid because I believe in that kid, right?
I think what they thought is that they started looking down at the board, and it's like, nobody.
Remember, New Orleans had just traded up to 14, and I was convinced Sean Payton just went up and snatched Lamar Jackson. And I was waiting for the commissioner to utter Lamar Jackson, and he uttered the name of the kid from UT San Antonio, the defensive end. Right? And all of a sudden, I thought, uh-oh, now Ozzie has to take him at 16. Then he trades back to 22, and then he trades back again. So remember, he went back to 25, and he took the South Carolina tight end, right?
Which they needed, right?
Okay.
And so guess what? Like all these picks I accumulated, I can move back up and get the guy that we could have got at 16 and had no extra picks and missed out on the tight end.
Okay, but he had to sit there and sweat from 25 on, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. 31, you have to wait and make sure, because Belichick going to take, you don't know what's going to happen, or is somebody going to trade up and get Lamar, and you got a little lucky to be able to go up to 30.
But you got to play the odds, Skip. When you start looking at it, okay, all these teams that could possibly use a quarterback, they got them. Cleveland got one, and the Arnold, Josh Allen had gone to Buffalo. So the court like, okay, I was like, well, hold on, let me see here. If I slide back, let me see what happened. These teams are not going to take him. Let me slide back a little more. And lo and behold, 32 is about to be up. I got me a couple of picks. Let me see if I can get one of them back and get the guy. So it's kind of like, I can assure you.
But I've seen many times in all my years where somebody had their heart set on so-and-so, and somebody just leapfrogs at the last second and snatches so-and-so.
It happened twice to Ozzie.
Yeah.
Gronk, he was going to take Gronk.
Yeah.
And I think the New England took him. He ended up having to take Pitta. He wanted to take Aaron Hernandez. Ended up having to take Ed Dixon. So it has happened to him. So I think he'd have been disappointed with one.
Is that why you went with the tight end higher then, I guess?
Yeah, exactly.
But this whole scenario is why I can't give huge credit to Bill Belichick for taking Tom Brady in the 6th round. Okay, all right. So what about those first 5?
Did
you really believe?
No.
Did you know?
No.
Okay, thank you.
No.
Yeah.
And everybody, I knew Tom Brady. People kill me with that. They take a guy in the 3rd or the 4th round. I knew he was going to be special. Well, why in the hell you didn't take him in the 1st round? If you knew he was going to be as special as you said he was, you was going to run the risk. So I guess you only one that thought he was going to be special.
Yep.
Stop playing.
Agreed.
You knew Peyton Manning was going to be special. That's why you took him number 1 overall. The John Elway, certain guys like that, you think they're going to be special, and you're not willing to run the risk.
Yeah.
Well, Ozzie did call it masterful.
Yeah.
Moving around in the draft, so he doesn't think it was luck at all.
Yeah, it was masterful. Yeah,
Next
you got
up,
it.
the Cowboys picked former Boise State linebacker Leighton